Well, good morning. It's Kirsten Liebelt. Good to see you. Jump on in. It must be 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's all I'm going to say. Happy Tuesday. How are you? How's your week going so far? Is everybody doing okay? I hope so. Last night, hey, you guys, last night, if you're in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, oopsie. Sorry, I just made noise on the Facebook microphone. If you're in the group, but you missed it last night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we did a quick Facebook Live, and we are starting to go through on Monday nights the book Self-Sabotage No More. Good morning, Cheryl. So if you just didn't even, because I took a poll to see when would be a good time for people. And so then I announced it yesterday morning that we were going to do it. So, whatever. I will pin it into the featured section so that you guys can have easy access to it. But it was less than a half an hour. And I want to take you through the book because it's very, it's mindset. It's mindset. So we have a lot going on. We have a lot going on over the next 3 months. A lot of things for you to plug into so that you can gain traction. Let's help you gain traction. So we have the 17th 5-day challenge starting on October 14th. We have the gut reset starting October 1st, and it's going to go October 1 for 10 days, November 1 for 10 days, December 1 for 10 days. You will be so ready for January. You will be so ready, and you will have done the holidays so much better than possibly you've literally ever done them in your life. Just by doing a gut reset once a month for 3 months straight to take you through the holidays. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's very exciting. So those of you that have already grabbed the gut primer will get you 3 resets. This will do 3 resets for you. Okay. I'm going to take it every day. I'm not going to stop because I've been enjoying the benefits. But for people who have never done something like this before, or maybe you just want to be able to think about what that feels like to do it once a month and etc. And then add in a probiotic. I do this one. I do the Balance Within one. But talk to me because you might want to choose the stress one. Okay. But do a probiotic, do the gut primer, and let's reset. And then what else do we have? If you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. I would love to know where you're coming in from, tuning in from, and all the good things. So good morning. Good morning. God, we've got so much good stuff going on. Very, very happy about that. And I liked last night. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. I really enjoyed last night and doing a little bit of mindset because, I just know that is, it's a part of my core values. So I even say it, I think, in the welcome. So when I created the group, it was 17 months ago, and I just didn't know. I think we're shy of 5,000 right now, 5,000 women. And the response had been so great. And of course, it's just been growing a little bit every day. Just that's what it's doing. But one of my core values is that every single woman that gets attached to me hears the message. You can completely, hi, Anna, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Anybody on TikTok, if you'll tap the screen, I'd really appreciate it. Gets things out to the FYP. But my journey was that I was going to learn how to do this without shame. That had to have been like a God thing that I don't know, because I feel like I was raised with a lot of shame around my weight. That was normal. So I don't know. I don't think that was a natural. Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't think it was so natural for me to think, oh, I'm going to do this without shame. I think I just hit a point, early 50s, where I was like, doggone it, I'm literally just going to figure this out. I'm just going to, I don't know, everybody get out of my way. I'm tired of food pushers. I'm tired of people having judgment over, eating. I'm tired of everybody being in my mess. Just everybody leave me alone. I'm just going to do this on my own. I think maybe there was a little bit of that in me, a little bit of fire. Did you ever think maybe? I don't know. I'm a little opinionated. I'm a lot Italian. And so that's what you're going to get today. So anyway, okay. So today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about visceral belly fat. And this is something that's very, I never knew any of the stuff that I teach you guys, that I talk to you guys about. And I'm not the one making it up, right? I'm just the geek that likes to research it. I always say, you know what? I'm not a doctor. I'm just an Italian girl who figured things out. And I really, really, really want people to wake up. I so badly want people to unplug from the matrix. Now, that doesn't mean I want people to not get medical care. Do not reinvent my words. That's not what I mean at all. But when we're talking about something like insulin resistance, that is not a terminal diagnosis, I want us to rightly see it for what it is and go, I don't need a team of doctors giving me bad information, or worse, sometimes no information about some of the basics. Like, this is ridiculous. Why are we not given some of the basics? It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. And that the beginning of that trigger in my brain was when my dad died. He was 63 years old, insulin dependent, type 2. This was my whole growing up years. A lot of obesity and type 2 in my Italian family. This is a very normal conversation for my world. I've said it before. I could close my eyes and tell you exactly the dresser drawer that the hypodermic needles were in a Ziploc baggie. I could tell you exactly where the insulin vials were in the refrigerator. Like, this was my life, right? And then his health went boom, boom, boom until he was gone at 63. And I remember the day after he died, I took a drive because I was just like, I was home vacationing for a minute when he died. And so I went out that morning and I drove around and I came back and my mom was crying and she said, I feel so bad that I complained so much about all of his medication. It was always such a mess. And now I feel bad that I complained about it. And I'm like, it's okay, Mom, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought to myself, and it was a fleeting thought that would then come back to me over and over and over again. So if 21st century medicine is so freaking amazing, why is he dead? Like, he didn't have cancer. Why is he dead? So this was just the beginning of me waking up. And then now, this was 28 years ago. Now, all of these years later, I have done research. I've done things to completely change the way that I function. I'm the only one in my family to have avoided type 2 diabetes. I'm on no medication. I'm 59. I have energy. I wake up and I don't ache. And all of the things of insulin resistance that get us. All of the things, we are exhausted. We're not sleeping well. We have a lot of belly fat that we can pinch. And I'll talk about the visceral belly fat here. A lot of just belly fat in general. Sometimes we get skin tags or discoloration on our necks. We are just hangry. We eat and then we're hangry because it's not getting into our cells. And so now we're hungry again and we're chasing energy. So we're chasing carbs, we're chasing sugar, and we're in this cycle and we don't know how to get out. That's insulin resistance. And so, and there are more symptoms than that, but going through all of that and turning that around, I only did 2 things, you guys. I literally only did 2 things. I did targeted supplements. That's the trio that I talk about, the 3 supplements. And I did ingredient trade outs. And so that's what the Facebook group is. Balloons on Instagram, party on Instagram. That's what I do in the group. That's why I started the group 17 months ago. So if you're not in it, it's called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You can jump in there, and we just are having too much fun. Or it's a group of women that are very supportive and encouraging. So Carol, good morning. Joanne, good morning. Oh my goodness, so fun. Sherry, hello. This is awesome. Gout. Oh my goodness, gout. Thank you for bringing that up. Do you know how many things we don't realize are connected to insulin resistance, gout, fatty liver, PCOS, all of the things? So let's talk about, do I know anything about DHEA? I would if I looked it up. And I know that sounds crazy, but I recently had done some information on that I'm trying to remember because that's hormone, right? Hold on. And the visceral belly fat, the reason why I want to talk about it today and why I get so passionate about this stuff is because it's literally can kill you. Okay. Like all of this stuff can kill you, but that's not how we're treating it in America. And I know I have people from a lot of other countries. Yep. A hormone naturally produced by the adrenal glands. It serves as precursor. Yep. Hormone balance, bone health, mood and cognitive function, weight loss, and muscle mass. Yeah. So uses in insulin resistance side effects. So reverse engineering that when she's talking about DHEA, when I started to work with my own brain fog and things like that, I used adaptogenic herbs and I still do. In fact, I just ran out of my purple packet. I can't believe that. How did I miscalculate my own order? That's just ridiculous. But I do talk a lot about this. These are this is the two of the same adaptogenic herbs that I started taking in my 40s. And what adaptogenic herbs do is they help your body adapt to stress. They come in, they support your adrenals regulate your hormones. So this is the back door of why I even know anything about that, because this is literally how I did the regulation of my hormones. And I ended up never having a hot flash. Because adaptogenic herbs, I believe, are God's gift to us. They are God's gift. So that's what that is. Your big toe 20 years ago confirms it. Yeah. Gout is nasty. It's painful. I've never had it, but I just know. You just started taking it today, 25 milligrams or 58. Very good. Yeah. I've never used it in that form. I've come in through the back door of supporting my adrenals, because that's exactly what we're talking about is, it's produced by the adrenal glands, and we are really stressing our adrenals. That's why I talk about ashwagandha. I have a phenomenal ashwagandha. I started taking it in May. I take one in the morning and then I take one at night. And it does not make you sleepy when you take it, but ashwagandha, you guys, it helps with stress, sleep, and mood. My sleep has never been better. That mixed with a magnesium blend, never been better. So visceral belly fat, the reason why I even care is because it kind of ticks me off that we're not taught this stuff. And it is very dangerous. Is hash brown okay to eat? No. Not just in my opinion of how to eat for insulin resistance. I don't do any starchy vegetables like that. I don't do any grain, legumes, starchy vegetables. And I'm just telling you, you literally can melt fat off of your body when you stop eating things that are spiking your sugars all the time. So that's how that goes. It's not Cheryl, Ultra Focus. Search Ultra Focus and you will see that. So thank you for asking that question. So the visceral belly fat. So 50 years ago, we only had fatty liver. Normally you were like an alcoholic who was really in a pickle. That's when you had fatty liver. And now, because of the way that we eat, because of the standard American diet of high refined carbohydrates all the time, all day, every day, from bagels to scones to all the sugar that's in our sodas and in our coffee drinks and all of the bread that we eat and all, it's just insane. And yes, there are other levels of all of the chemicals and all of the seed oils, etc. But we have now created fatty liver in ourselves at such a high rate that now it's just natural for obesity and fatty liver to be in our children. And this is such a problem because the visceral belly fat, the fat that's around your organs, is very dangerous. And oftentimes, by the time you get a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, it's I will not declare that over anybody, but that's not a super yummy diagnosis, right? So we really want to stop this cycle of fat around our organs. So let me just read to you what visceral belly fat is. Good morning, Brenda. Good to see you. Visceral belly fat is the fat that wraps around your internal organs, such as the liver, the pancreas, and your intestines. It's especially dangerous because it is metabolically active. It can release harmful substances into your bloodstream, like inflammatory cytokines, which increase the risk of chronic conditions such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. And I'm going to pause for just a second because, isn't it interesting that literally if I were to go back and listen to every single one of the lives that I've done, all of the research that I've done, and I'm not looking for biased research. I'm literally just asking questions, right? I'm asking questions. Not once has an answer come back to me that has said, you should stop eating red meat. Oh, you guys, you've got to understand this. You've got to understand that what is actually not harmful to you is being demonized by industry. You have to hear this. Not once has it said, but I have a lot of other things that have said inflammatory cytokines, which increase the risk of chronic conditions such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancers. Those are the things that are causing issues. It's the inflammation. It's the inflammation. It's the inflammation. It's the inflammation. It's shocking that this is what's happening, that because of commercials or, whatever, just demonizing industry. Like, this is so dumb. Why are we I'm going to get super opinionated right now. I'm sorry, but why are we talking about cow farts? Like, are we stupid as a species that we actually think that since the beginning of time, when there were animals that were given to us by God, that's the issue? It's the cow gas. That's the issue. Like, come on. Anyway, all of my research leads me to just shake my head at some of the things that we're being told to focus on when it's completely just invalid. That's not what's causing heart disease. That's not the answer ever. So, okay. I'm moving on. It's probably best. Good morning, Anna. Is good for us to eat. Yes, meat is very good for us to eat, and especially beef. I do buy grass-fed because I can get it from a local rancher, and I'm in Minnesota, and I live really close to the cities. So don't think you have to live in the country to have somebody that sells beef. And it's actually cheaper to do that. We'll buy a half a cow this November and we'll put it in a deep freeze. And it's a very inexpensive way to purchase beef in comparison to the store. I mean, it's still expensive on the front end. But point being, beef actually has an almost literal identical amino acid profile to your human muscle. Super interesting, right? You found it, Cheryl? Okay, very good. Very good. I have literally been taking the purple packet for 10 years. Sometimes people take it just because they want a little bit of mental clarity and energy. And sometimes people, like myself, will take it to, I was doing twice a day and really trying to get a handle on my hormones, help my adrenals on a higher level. So you can always ask me questions behind the scenes on that. So yes, there we go. Say that again, Sherry. Red is good for you, right? So what do you mean? So is that bacon? Bacon and turkey, maybe? I'm trying to read your emojis. Yes. I mean, I do eat pork. I think beef is superior. I think that, but I do eat pork. Yeah, you can totally, in the way that I eat and teach, being grain-free, sugar-free, totally, I don't have any issues with, the only issues that I would have with bacon is if they're laden with sugar. You have to find the ones that aren't so laden with sugar. So, all right, visceral belly fat. It accumulates primarily due to these things: poor diet, lack of exercise, chronic stress, hormonal changes, genetics, and lack of sleep. That's how we're getting all the visceral belly fat. Natural ways that you can begin to reduce it. And think about that. I mean, just for a second, the poor diet is the high sugar, the high processed foods, the excess carbohydrates contributing to fat storage. So again, Nowhere in there does it say that red meat is a part of the poor diet. That's not, and this isn't even meant to be about red meat. This is just my example of saying this is how stupid this cycle is, that they keep telling us things in marketing that literally aren't true when you do the research. Like, it's just not. I didn't pull up a certain study. I'm not looking for biased information. I'm not looking for something that's being written by the grain industry. It's just facts. Poor diet, high sugar, high processed foods, excess carbohydrates contribute to fat storage. Lack of exercise, chronic stress. We have to help our stress, you guys. Back to the ashwagandha conversation. This is such an issue. Our stress and our sleep, our stress and our sleep, our stress and our sleep. The stress hormone cortisol encourages fat storage, particularly in the abdominal area. Hormonal changes, especially in women during menopause, where estrogen drops, it can lead to an increase in visceral fat. Genetics, some people are genetically predisposed to store more visceral fat, and then lack of sleep. Did you ever think that lack of sleep was such an issue? Like, it's a bad issue, right? Poor sleep can interfere with hormones that regulate hunger and fat storage. These are some of the things that you can do about visceral belly fat. You can increase your fiber. Even when we're talking about like the gut reset, this has extracts of fruits and vegetables to help with that fiber piece without doing a lot of trash fiber, Metamucil and all of the things that, anyway, there are better ways to get your fiber. Increased fiber, healthy fats, incorporating like your omega-3s from your fish, etc. Reduced sugar and refined carbs, because that's always the answer. What is the issue? Sugar and refined carbs. I'm sorry, what is the issue again for visceral belly fat? Sugar and refined carbs. What is the issue for insulin resistance? Sugar and refined carbs. What is the issue for fatty liver? Sugar and refined carbs. What is the issue for heart disease? Sugar and refined carbs. What is the issue? Like, that's the answer. I'm just going to give you, I'll let you cheat on the test. The answer is sugar and refined carbs all day, every day. That's why we have marketing in our face all day, every day, telling us to eat 9 to 11 servings of grain every single day. And then you will be medicated. I can't guarantee that because I'm just an Italian girl, but I'm just saying the likelihood of you being medicated for high BP, for type 2, for whatever. And I see somebody had asked about cholesterol. Well, you have to believe that cholesterol causes heart disease to care. It's not how this goes. Cholesterol numbers that are given by the matrix will put you on an STATIN. Instead, go get a CAC. Calcium, what does that stand for? Does anybody know? I forget now. CAC score. I'm going to look it up. That will tell you the health of your arteries. CAC stands for, and that's what you want to know, because actually your liver makes cholesterol to go and patch up the holes in your arteries. Coronary artery calcium. It refers to the buildup of calcium in the coronary arteries, which supply blood to the heart. A CAC score is obtained through a specialized CT scan that detects calcium deposits in the heart's arteries, providing a way to assess the risk of coronary artery disease or a future heart attack. A higher CAC score indicates more calcified plaque in the arteries and a greater risk of heart disease. This test is often used to help determine the need for preventative measures in individuals as intermediate risk of heart disease. And so, for instance, back in the 70s or 80s, they might have said that if your cholesterol was less than 300, you were doing great. Now they've lowered it and lowered it and lowered it. And now more and more and more people are on an STATIN, which is lowering your cholesterol, which is really harmful for a lot of other functions in your body. Anyway, but a CAC, so like for instance, somebody that I know has higher cholesterol, but the CAC is 0. So this person has chosen to not do an STATIN because why? because that's not the issue. But anyway, wow. Hi, Carla. Thank you, Carol. Coronary artery calcium score. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. You have peaches, bananas, watermelon, and frozen strawberries. That's a lot of sugar. The only one that I would eat, Sherry, would be the frozen strawberries. And the other ones, I understand. What about eating apples? Too high in sugar. I know. I just understand, you guys. It's just because we've entered insulin resistance land. Okay. It's not because God made bad food. You have to hear this. First of all, we have hybrided. This is my word because I don't know the actual way to say that. We have changed the very base of our fruit and food. Like we have like the little clementines that you buy, the little halos, they're like straight sugar because they've literally changed the hybrid nature of them. And I know all of this from personal experience. My mom worked for the Landscape Arboretum, which is the University of Minnesota Division of Horticulture. And it takes 20 years to bring an apple to market. So they hybrid it until it's sweet enough, tart enough, crunchy enough, perfect enough. Like the Honeycrisp came out of the University of Minnesota, the First Kiss, I think the Jazz, I don't remember, but all of these, they've been hybrid to make them sweeter. We've done it with everything. So we're not eating the same fruit that we even ate like 100 years ago. I'm just telling you. So they're very high in sugar content. So berries, I eat berries. That's what we do. Thank you for the follow, Teresa. I so appreciate you. I appreciate everybody on TikTok so much. I appreciate you guys. All right. So back to the visceral fat. So these are some of the things that you can do then. You can, we talked a little bit here, increase your fiber, healthy fats, reducing sugar and refined carbs, eat more protein. More protein. It helps with satiety. It keeps you full longer, muscle building, and fat loss. Include lean meats, eggs, and a plant-based sources like, well, okay, never mind, because I don't do that for insulin resistance. So meat and eggs. And I said in a reel yesterday that I did, meat and eggs are my first two things that I would want in my kitchen. If I could only have 5 things in my kitchen, or what are 5 things that I don't want to live without? And my 5 things are meat, eggs, pork panko, because I can make breaded chicken, because I love breaded chicken. I don't know if anybody else is like if I could go to one fast food place, you guys, it would be KFC. I really like KFC. I haven't been there in years, but I love doing that. So anyway, so pork panko, and then it was the egg white protein powder, because I can make the egg white bread. And then it was allulose, because I like to make things that have sweetness. And allulose is being shown as a plant sweetener to lower blood sugars. Like studies are showing this. So this is kind of very exciting. So I'm just telling you those things. So for me, eating more protein is an easy answer, which is what they're talking about. And then when you supplement, probiotics, fish oil, curcumin, magnesium, those are all really helpful for visceral belly fat. So if you are doing the gut health reset, the 10 days, October, November, December, and you're taking this container and you're making it do 3 resets for you, and you're grabbing a probiotic, probiotics are so dang important, you guys. They're so important. Fish oil, curcumin, that's coming from like when you buy turmeric. But did you know that turmeric is actually not very absorbable? So you just have to know this. Like we talk about it a lot, like in marketing, you'll see it everywhere, but it actually isn't very absorbable into your system. So I have adored the turmeric that was launched about a year ago. I take 2 a day. And then if I've had a massage, because my neck will get whatever. I had surgery on my shoulder when I was 50 and it froze. And then I had to have surgery again, blah, blah, blah. So every now and then, like my neck here will get tight just from doing a lot of computer work and chatting with y'all. And so I'll go and I'll get a massage, and then I'll come home and I'll take 2 of my turmeric. And the turmeric that I have is actually 45 times more absorbable. And curcumin is the turmeric conversation. That's the connection there. And curcumin is an anti-inflammatory compound found in turmeric. It helps reduce inflammation that contributes to visceral fat storage. Okay, because inflammation is the conversation. Every day, all day, you want to talk about, think in terms of streamlining your life. We're going to talk about whatever the question is, whatever the problem is, the answer is going to be sugar, refined carbs, and inflammation. That's all you need to know. Then you can just like go on with your life. Almost like we could just narrow everything down to sugar, refined carbohydrates, and inflammation. Done. Tapping out. That's all you need to know. But anyway, so like 400 milligrams of the turmeric that I have. And if you guys have tried it, I'd love to know if anybody has a good testimony on it, because it has been so fantastic. But anyway, it's like taking 400 milligrams is like taking 6,000 milligrams of another brand. That's how potent that extract is that they have. Oh, what is the genetic test? Angela, it's not a genetic test. It's a coronary artery calcium score. So it's a CT scan. If that's what you're talking about. Oh, Cheryl said, I apologize. Your genetic test says it was vitamin B and folate deficient. Purple Peck, where have you been all my life? Well, I don't know, Cheryl. I know it has there are 3 supplements in one little packet. One of them, it's basically 3 adaptogenic herbs and then all 8 of your B vitamins time released. I know. It's a very, very good blend. Hi, Matt. I should try blackjack apples. They are for baking. Never heard of a blackjack one, Matt. Very good. So what is the genetic test? Okay. I think that's for you to answer, Cheryl, because I'm not really sure what she is saying on that. So, okay. Probiotics, fish oil, curcumin, magnesium, they're all very helpful. Exercise, lifestyle modifications, exercise, sleep, and stress management. Okay. Now, the last thing that I'm going to bring up is this. So in the trio, there is an ingredient that is an extract. It's called EGCG. And so if you're already taking the trio, you've already been helping your visceral belly fat this whole time and you didn't even know it. And this is what it does. It's a very powerful antioxidant, and it's known to boost your metabolism and aid in fat burning. Okay. And this is not off of my website or because of the product. This is just what it does. It increases fat oxidation. It stimulates thermogenesis. Do you know that, like when you eat meat, and sometimes people will say it in a bad way. They'll be like, yeah, I got the meat sweats. I ate so much meat. Actually, when you eat meat, it's a thermogenic food because it takes a lot of metabolism to digest it, break it down, and use it for fuel. So it takes a lot more power out of your body. So that's what EGCG is helping with. It is known to boost, or stimulates that thermogenesis. This is why it helps with fat burning. And the process of heat production in the body, helping you burn more calories even when you're at rest. That's in the trio, you guys. You probably didn't even know that. I've actually decided that I'm going to do another masterclass this fall on the trio. I did it last year and then I posted it in the group. It's in the featured section and it's literally just on the trio. I think maybe I add in a couple of products, but the trio are the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity. And that's what I started with 10 years ago. And they have fully supported me in losing my 3 sizes now in my 50s. Because when you view everything through insulin resistance, you can actually get results. And so I just think that's so exciting because you don't even understand that you have belly fat underneath the fat that you can pinch. Like it's around your organs and you want to get rid of that. It reduces fat absorption, which helps inhibit the absorption of fats from your diet. And it has anti-inflammatory properties. By reducing inflammation, it helps lower the metabolic dysfunction that leads to visceral fat storage. So that's why when I say that these are ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, I'm not messing around. I'm not making it up. Like this is just really, really true. And that's why people get such good results. But anyway, is the purple pack bioavailable like your turmeric? It is. Everything is, Cheryl. The only thing with yes, the answer is yes. Because of the way that they produce everything and the way that they are using real plants in everything. So it's very bioavailable. The only thing with B vitamins, and people who know, if you have the MTHFR gene, which is a gene that makes it so that you can't methylate certain things, people could be taking B vitamins and they don't know that they needed a methylated version. These are not methylated. So that's a specialty corner of the market to have something methylated, but most people don't need that. Do you think eating an apple is better than eating an apple pie? Oh, so now, Sherry, every time you cut a corner, you create 2 more corners. Yeah, well, of course, eating a real piece of food is always a million times better than eating something that has had added sugar and flour and butter. And although butter is okay for you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, of course, making that whole universe of a pie is way worse. But I sure do love pie. But do you know what? I just make my own now. So I made a coconut cream pie for Easter that was out of this world. Insane. Everybody loved it. And it was an almond flour crust. It was amazing. Oh, you do have that gene. Yep. Yep. Sorry. I just don't think you're going to break them down. Yep. I know. And so I want to be honest with you on that. Yep. You don't want to do that. However, if you want the adaptogenic herbs, which would not be a methylated conversation, you can buy those other 2 separate, especially the one that starts with the XS. That's the one that you could take twice a day. Sorry, you can take 2 a day. And if you're trying to work with your hormones, you can take 3 or 4 a day. And that information would be coming from, I can get you the book. If you're looking to help your adrenals, the 2 things would be the adaptogenic herb that starts with the XS, and then the one that is the ashwagandha. Those would be the 2 to help with like adrenals, stress, etc. That coconut cream sounds delicious. It is so delicious, Sherry. I think it's in the group. I'm almost positive I did it in the group. So if you're in the group, go and search coconut cream pie. Oh man, you guys, it was such a winner. I can't make things like that all the time because I'll eat them all. So I just know myself. I stay away from making a continual stream of keto treats because it'll totally stall out my weight loss. And then I'll be frustrated. And I don't want to do that anymore, right? Hi, Deb. Thank you so much for the follow, Deb. I really appreciate you. So yeah, you are welcome. So you have autoimmune Hashimoto's and insulin resistance postmenopausal. Does any of the information on supplements interfere with the thyroid? No, they help the thyroid. They help. Your thyroid, and again, you guys, this is just me as a researcher, right? If you have deeper questions on stuff, I'll just tell you the things that I've heard and who I've heard them from. So like Maria Emmerich will talk about how your T4 is converted into your active T3. Did I just say that backwards? But it's converted in your liver. So oftentimes the thyroid conversation is a liver conversation. So the trio, when I talk about the trio and insulin resistance, these 3 supplements, one of them is specifically for the liver. One of them is specifically for the visceral belly fat. One of them is specifically for helping insulin. Okay. So and then layer on the other pieces of why they help and why we get the results that we get. Okay. So only help the liver. And then when talking about Hashimoto's, the people that I've seen that get the best results with Hashimoto's would be people who actually go carnivore. They really they completely eliminate carbohydrates, even if it's only for a season. And somebody that you could follow with that, I am not carnivore, but I understand. Dr. Kiltz, Kiltz, he's a fertility specialist out of New York. And he helps people get pregnant by using the carnivore diet. And then Dr. Ken Berry, Berry, his wife, Nisha, has Hashimoto's. And so she goes carnivore and she talks about that a lot. And I'm just saying, because sometimes we have to do something a little more drastic to get things to go into remission. Dr. Berg has an adrenal gland YouTube video. Very cool. Yeah, I'm super like, you know, these are such basic concepts. They weren't to me for sure, because I knew none of this. But these are now, again, I just, because I'm living in the realm of nothing that's terminal, nothing that I talk about with people is terminal. And I know that it can all be reversed. And I just want to know, like, why we didn't wake up a long time ago. Why has it taken us this long to wake up? I mean, they gave us the food pyramid, what, back in the the beginning of the 90s, I think, is when they really solidified the dangerous, bad, horrible, awful food pyramid that they gave us. It goes right around the beginning of the 90s that it was more solidified. Why did it take us this long to wake up and to realize that they were just feeding us like industry answers, like people who paid for studies, people who just market to us and they tell us that Cheerios is heart healthy? That's a lie. No, they're not. They're actually really, it's bad for you. Like cereal, all that refined processed food, somehow we became indoctrinated and we allowed them. We allowed them to indoctrinate us and to get us to believe that making processed, man-made, highly refined food, somewhere in this conversation, we decided that that was more healthy than whole food that God gave us that did not require, like, I understand you butcher a cow, that's process, but that's not the same as highly refined processed ingredients. And then we've added chemicals and chemicals and dyes and chemicals and dyes and all of these things that are showing literally to lower testosterone in men. And there's one chemical that literally turns male frogs female. And like, I think we don't understand what Roundup has done to us, whatever. Well, if you eliminate grains completely, if you just get off of grains 100%, that means no corn syrup and anything. That means no prepackaged granola bars or cereal or pasta or whatever. You eliminate like 80, I make up my own statistics. You eliminate 88% of all of your issues by eliminating grain, because then you can't be, you're not going to get the chemicals anymore. You're not going to have the issues with your digestive system anymore. It's not gluten. Gluten is not the kind, I understand, blah, blah, blah. We're gluten intolerant, so we have to get rid of gluten. I get it, blah, blah, blah. Some people, my husband has a sensitivity to gluten. And so when he does gluten-free, he does better. However, when you get rid of grain, you stop spiking your sugars all the time. And when you're insulin resistant, like you can like immediately shift so much just by going grain-free, sugar-free. And then there are other steps, of course. There's tweaking and tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. And I get it. I really do. But it's one step at a time. You're welcome, Angela. It's just one ingredient at a time, one recipe at a time. And literally this non-terminal diagnosis, this non-terminal conversation, it can be turned around. What if it was as simple as developing a supplement habit? I never had a supplement habit. My habit was to take ibuprofen when my neck hurt all the time or when my shoulder hurt. That was my habit. So I had to create a supplement habit. Then I had to start learning a little bit of changing out an ingredient, changing out a recipe, and doing those things so I could fix what got me into the pickle to begin with. But I'll tell you what, if you have never seen the testimonies of the trio, take 5 minutes. Last night we talked in the group about this book, Self-Sabotage No More. I don't have a link for it or anything like that. You can get it off of Amazon. And every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we are going to go through this book, because you have to stop sabotaging yourself. You have to stop allowing your set points from childhood to get you to stop taking action. And that's what happens sometimes. And so I'll have somebody say to me, I've been watching you for a full year and I finally ordered the trio. Because we just sabotage ourselves. It's what we do. So instead of sabotaging yourself, take 5 minutes today. Go over to my IG. It's my same name, Kirsten Liebelt, KirstenLiebelt. Belt, Kirsten Liebelt. It looks like you lie down, belt that you wear on your pants. And it's KIR, like the American Girl doll. Go over to Instagram and there's a pink highlight bubble at the top. And just kind of take a deep breath and go through the testimonies. Just tap on them and read them. Read how people's sugars are coming down. Read how their fasting insulin is coming down, how they're losing weight, how they're getting off of BP meds, because the very core of everything is insulin resistance. And when you have insulin resistance as a foundation, this is where you end up having high BP, gout, PCOS, fatty liver, type 2, visceral belly fat. Like it literally all comes from one place. And we have to stop the insanity. So you can. And when you are perimenopause, if you think back to when you were in your 40s and everything went upside down, most likely it started, in my opinion, it started with insulin resistance and you didn't even know that insulin was a hormone, just like me. And it messed up like a domino effect, all of your other hormones. And it made everything more intense, more dramatic, more frustrating, more questioning of yourself, like what's wrong with me and where did she go? And all the time, it seems like it's starting because of the insulin hormone, because we were just like me, mindlessly eating, thinking that popcorn was a weight loss food. No. Like I love how Maria Emmerich says, 5 cups of popcorn turns into 9 teaspoons of sugar in your blood. It's not a weight loss food. It's a fat gaining food. It's why they serve it to cows to fatten them up for butchering. Corn syrup is in everything because corn turns into syrup. Like we have got to just think through a few things. Okay. So all of this stuff, insulin resistance. Listen, nobody knows more than I'm Italian. Like talk to me about everything white, everything sugar, so addicted to sugar, crazy pants addicted to sugar. Like give me all the milk duds, give me all the, all the candy, the Snicker bars, the kettle chips from Trader Joe's, salt and pepper. They are phenomenal. Haven't had those in years. Give me all of the sweet potato fries at Red Robin. I want it all. I want all the carbs. I want all the sugar. It was literally my life, but it was killing my family, killed my dad, 63. So we can talk all we want about insulin resistance and talk about how easy it is to turn around. But on the other side of that conversation is if you do nothing, it does lead to really bad stuff and kind of really bad stuff before you actually die. Like you don't die first necessarily. You can go through some really hard, icky stuff ahead of time. I watched it with my dad. I lived it. He was probably pretty dang close to having to have something amputated because that's where this goes when we don't deal with it right on the front end. So invest in your health. It's a lot cheaper than to invest in your sickness once you're sick. And then maybe you can't work as much. Maybe you need more over-the-counter meds. Maybe you need more things that help you with your mental health because you're so sad. The D word. You're so sad. And what was it that my beautiful customer said to me? She said this on a voicemail a couple days ago. She was just saying, thank you. And we're talking about the trio we're talking about the gut reset. She bought her products. She bought the primer and she bought the probiotic to do 3 sets of the gut reset, 10-day gut reset. And she was talking about, and she said, you know what? You're doing the Lord's work. That's what she said. Being overweight makes you sluggish. It makes you not feel very good about yourself. And sometimes it's hard to love others when you don't feel good about yourself. So function of life for me, high priority on my list of everything that I do. I want to wake up and not ache. I don't. I want to wake up and I want to have energy. I do. I want to be able to get down on the floor with my grandsons. All of the things that a doctor or the matrix is not measuring for me. I have to measure these things for myself. And it's about high quality of life. I want to be able to continue to make more memories. The minute my dad was dead at 63, all of the memories ceased. And my 3 children, 6, 3, and 6 months old, immediately had 0 more memories with my dad. So their Italian grandpa, gone. Just erased right out of the picture over something that was never terminal to begin with. But if they can keep you sick, and if they can keep you medicated, and if they can keep you thinking that all you have to do is count points, all you have to do is live in a calorie deficit. I understand that's a piece of the puzzle. All you have to do is, follow a program of $1,200 a month, prepackaged processed food. No. Cut out the noise. Learn how to fish. Learn how to create real food for yourself. Super simple, super streamlined, super easy. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but really not much, because you're talking about a lot of meat and greens. You're talking about a lot of simple things. Everybody knows how to fry an egg. Everybody knows how to buy butter. Simple, simple, simple. Fill in a few other things. That's what the group does, helps you with. Ditch insulin resistance for women. Get in there. We'll do a challenge every month. 17th one is coming up. Learn how to eat real food. Learn to get off of the crutch of processed foods that they wanted you on so badly, because they're all in bed with each other. And you are so profitable when you are sick. You make people so much money. It's ridiculous. But in the meantime, you lose out because you felt like crap this last weekend. So you were not able to go with your family apple picking, or you were not able to spend time with your grandkids. You were not able to get down on the floor with them. You were not able to go shopping and walk the mall because your feet hurt so much. You were not able to get on that airplane the last trip because maybe it was uncomfortable for you, or you have fears around certain things, or it's endless. But that's what happens if we have a messed up gut and it's affecting our mental health. If we have high sugars and we're crashing and we feel nauseous, or we just keep gaining weight. And so we wake up in the morning and the first thought in our head is to put ourselves down and be unkind to ourselves. It's why I don't even have one by me. It's why I'm measuring out, I'm mailing out measuring tapes this month in September. I have a few left. Every order that comes in, I'm mailing out a measuring tape, because I want you to stop the dependency of the scale. I'm not saying the scale doesn't have a place. Personally, I threw mine away 5 years ago because the mental connection of being emotionally stable or not emotionally stable according to a number on a scale is ridiculous. I understand it's been taught to us. And somebody brought that up to me the other day when I did a live, maybe 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about that old group called TOPS. And somebody told me what that stood for, because I remember my mom being in TOPS, and then I remember her being in Weight Watchers. And I forget now what it stood for. I can't believe that. You guys told me. No. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll look it up. It doesn't matter. But those programs, they are designed to get you to believe that it's all about balance, and that you can still keep eating all of the refined foods that you want and all of the prepackaged foods that they will sell you in the smart products that WW sells. You can still eat all of the chemicals, all of the processed foods, all of the total crap that's prepackaged, and lose weight and feel great. No, you can't. Not without fallout. This is my opinion. This is just my opinion. You have to learn how to eat real food that God just gave us. And when you're insulin resistant, I understand that does mean that you eliminate a lot of things that you were eating. A lot of high sugar fruits. I only eat berries. A lot of starchy vegetables. I eat greens, spaghetti squash, onions and garlic. Like, so many things have carbs. It's not just that carbs are evil, but you have to stop what got you into the pickle to begin with. You have to shove it down, just tamp it down, and get your body to start burning fat instead of its preferred fuel, which is sugar. Okay. Deb, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Chris. Take off pounds sensibly. That's what TOPS stood for. Take off pounds. And Carla told me too. Oh, Matt, you're amazing. She says, I watch her Monday through Friday. She's awesome. Matt is a very, I don't have it by me, Matt. Matt is a very sweet young man who is 36 and he's on dialysis, and he made me the most beautiful necklace. Thank you, Matt. And he mailed it to me. Isn't that nice? You guys are like the best community ever. Oh, go. You know what? I'm on. Thank you for saying that. You are, oh, Matt, you're on YouTube also. So Gokul, that's because you're on YouTube, but I'm on 2 different Facebooks and Instagram and TikTok. But thank you for saying that. You're so sweet. You had to throw away all of your skinny popcorn last month. Just bought it. Shake my head. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. It is such an issue. It is such an issue. The marketing. We have to like scrub our brains from all of the crap that they have marketed, because they're just, listen, it's so cheap to grow a crop. The profit is so high. It's so high, and they'll tell you anything. Penny, take off pounds sensibly. Thank you. Sherry, total overweight people. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. You are so funny. Well, it could have been that. But I think it might be taking off pounds sensibly. So anyway, that's hysterical. You're so funny. So anyway, so that's kind of my rant and my rave today. Like, I just want people to understand that all of this is reversible. So let's go over all of the things that you have available to you that are coming up, because now you can spend the next 90 days. You guys are wrapping up September. We have the next 90 days, and you know what's coming. You know every social event that's going to be on your calendar. I'm already putting stuff on my calendar. I don't know if anybody else is, but I already have stuff on my calendar for the holiday season, because that's just how this goes. And we start, like literally the second it turns October 1st, every single person. If you're not a pumpkin person and you don't want a pumpkin spice latte, you probably want a squash. And if you don't want a squash, maybe you want a pumpkin. Well, you have to be a pumpkin person, but maybe you want some sort of a sweet bread or a scone, or there's just a hot chocolate. You want something because you're shifting that season. And I understand how that's just in us, but we can do something completely different. So these are the things. Number 1, if you're not in the group, ditch insulin resistance for women. You can look that up on Facebook. Ditch, like drive into a ditch, insulin resistance for women. The banner right now is the October challenge. That's the banner. I don't think I can look that up for you. Anyway, and it's going to start on Monday, October 14th. I will go live every day for 5 days, and we will do ingredient trade outs, and I do a pantry and a fridge reveal, and we talk about supplements, and we talk about a recipe. And that is, I can't look that up. This is our 17th one. So that is to resource you, put tools in your toolbox, get you to have an understanding so that you're not just living in deprivation mode. You actually have a connection. Okay. Then the second thing is, in that exact same group, the first 10 days of October, November, December, we're going to do a gut reset. This is a gut primer, and it has 6 different blends in it. It has prebiotic and postbiotic and fermented greens, alkaline spices, digestive enzymes, and then it has fiber that is an extract from fruits and vegetables. If you have not grabbed that yet with your probiotic, please reach out to me. I will get you the cart. I'll get you the gut reset cart. This will last you for 3 10-day resets. If you're not going to do it every single day, all month long. That's what I do, but that's not what we're talking about. Some people you'll start it and you may just keep going because it's helping you so much. Okay. But this 3 10-day resets, and you're going to want to pick a probiotic. You might want to ask me which one you want. Okay. And the reason why the probiotic isn't in there is because you want them to stay active. So they very purposefully did prebiotics and postbiotics, which are more stable. Okay. So that's the gut reset. That's another tool in your toolbox for the next 3 months. And we'll do that days 1 through 10, October, November, December. And then if you have not tried the trio, if you have not started your insulin resistant to insulin sensitive journey, reach out to me and I will get you that information. You might say to me, I would like a cart with both the trio and the gut reset options. And I'll get that for you. And I'll tell you how you can view that. Okay. Can I tell you what a day of food looks like for you? Susan, on TikTok, your message will go away. I hate to tell you guys, Instagram and TikTok, it'll go away the minute my live is done. So you have to go up to my profile right up here and click on my face. And then it will come up again right here across the middle. And you click on my face again and it will take you out of my live. But that's okay because I'm going to wrap up anyway. And there's a phone number there and you can text me just what you said. Please send the cart. Tell me if you want the trio in it or if you want the gut reset or both. Okay. You could also, if you don't want to text me, no problem. You can jump over to my Instagram because there's an Instagram icon on my profile and jump over there. See you later, Carla. You can jump over to my Instagram and get right into my inbox. And if you're on Instagram, get right into my inbox. Messengers on Facebook, all of that good stuff. Got it. Good. So doing those things you can have a completely different universe for the next 3 months. I mean, I get so passionately excited about this because I know what it can do for somebody who chooses consistency. You can start January 1st completely different than everybody else. Everybody else around you, you can shut out their noise. You can decide that there are no food pushers in your life for 90 days, that there is nobody that can influence what's going on in your own mind and the choices that you're making. And you can make changes without any shame. Nobody can shame you anymore. You can take control of that. So the best thing that I can say about the trio for anybody that does not know where to find all of the testimonials, they're at the top of my Instagram page in a pink highlight bubble. If you're already in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, they're in guide 4. And it's not the totality of them, but it's a good sampling is what I would say. In guide 4. Thank you, Christina, for the follow. And what do I eat in a day? I will say that, and then I'm going to jump off for the day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I have not eaten yet today, so I will get off and I will make myself 3 eggs and a chicken sausage. And I like the chicken sausages that are at Aldi's. There's a Never Any brand. Walmart has Gilbert. Kirkland even has one at Costco. And the reason why is because that's literally an all protein breakfast. It's going to be over 30 grams of protein. And I focus on protein all day long. It keeps me full. It keeps me satiated. It helps to protect my lean muscle mass. It's just like everything is good about protein in that way. And I'd rather eat it than drink it. So each egg has like 6 grams of protein. Chicken sausage will have like 13 or 14 grams, depending upon the brand. Then let's see, what will I have? Today, I don't necessarily know, but some of the things that I do like would be in my freezer, I have frozen shrimp, and it's not that expensive, you guys, to go to Walmart and get wild caught shrimp. You can get like a bag for, $6 or $7, and then I can split that between my husband and I. And I will make like a spaghetti squash. And spaghetti squash is the only squash that I eat, but it's really good. And I can make I can fry up my shrimp in some butter, add a little bit of cream and Parmesan cheese, get that real Parmesan cheese and maybe some garlic powder going, and mix it with the shrimp and pour it on spaghetti squash. Another thing would be I eat a lot of eggs in general. So egg salad, chicken salad. And in fact, Anna, if you jump over to my Instagram, yesterday, the replay, just because TikTok doesn't post replays, you can either go to my YouTube or my Instagram. And the replay yesterday, I went through food. That's what I did. I went through like ideas of things to eat And I think I maybe gave anywhere between 18 and 20 ideas of how to prioritize protein and what things that you could think about. Egg salad, chicken salad, shrimp salad, eggs in general. You can be very creative with that. In the group, I have a keto lasagna in there, a breakfast chili, all of those things. And so I very much prioritize protein. And this is a Maria Emmerich concept: high protein, moderate, really good fats, and then very low carbs, like 30 or less, and no messing around with that net carb BS. None of that. Like, let's just get down to business so that you can actually feel good and get results and like appreciate your efforts more. So I hope that helped. I hope that gives you some idea. And there you go. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I hope this helped. And if you need any information on the trio or the gut reset like that we're going to be doing, don't miss out. Don't miss out. I would love to help you be a part of your life and walk this journey with you for the next 3 months and beyond, because of course, we'll keep doing more in the new year. So, but there you go. All right. Have such a good day, you guys. Be super blessed. I'm going to go make some eggs and a chicken sausage because I'm kind of hungry now. I already did my gut stuff this morning, so I'm ready to eat.